This is Trevor. Like most people, Trevor had feet, eyes, a mouth, even a heart. But unlike most people, Trevor had no arms. As you may have guessed, not having arms can make life rather difficult, especially when everything he wanted to do seemed out of reach. No pun intended. He couldn't write his own name even once, no matter how hard he tried, or play on the monkey bars like other children, or even stand on his head with much luck. But the one thing that Trevor wanted most of all was a hug. And not just any hug, one from none other than Sandra. But who would want to hug someone that would never be able to hug back? One day, Sandra sat next to him and said she had an idea. Why not just buy him some arms? She took out a soup can and said that if perhaps they collected enough money, then maybe they could go to the local arm clinic at the hospital. Trevor was reluctant at first and scratched his head, but he soon agreed. At that, it seemed like everyone started to pitch in. The turnout ended up far larger than expected. They all wanted Trevor to have arms. After a long campaign, Trevor and Sandra learned that they had enough for the arm procedure. Trevor was nervous when the time came, but he soon went to sleep. And before he knew it, the world seemed new, and he could hardly contain himself. He wrote his name 700 times, flew across the monkey bars, and stood on his head for an entire day. He couldn't wait to tell Sarah, but she wasn't there. And Trevor soon learned that she was admitted to the hospital and was extremely ill. The doctor told Trevor that there was only one cure for her condition, but her parents could not afford it. Trevor set to work that instant. He phoned relatives, called newspapers, everyone, asking for any money they could spare. But when he brought back all he could, the doctor only shook his head. It just wasn't enough, he apologized. Sandra continued to worsen, and it was then the idea passed through Trevor's mind. Sandra was dying, and nothing more could be done. Nothing.